be strong.
Welcome back, guys. New episode, Big Fat Podcast, powered by CrossFit Green, fueled by Sweat and Reset, and powered by Fat Nutrition, Fat Barbell, and Fat Gymnastics. I am on a fucking roll.
How do you remember that every time?
Well, I've done it for like 15 episodes now, so it's only gotten good in the last
15?
14 maybe. I think this could be the 14th.
How far it's come from the time we did it on the phone the first day.
It's been a great lockdown. Guys, Cian on with us again. I think, Cian, this is your first time on it on your own.
No, the very first one.
Yeah, but that one doesn't count. Like, that was shit, man.
That one has one of the most amount of views. Don't let that
has
die.
The most amount of views.
Don't let that one die.
Talk about an absolute pilot that attracted no viewership.
Oh, stop. Yeah.
It was such a bad pilot that we got nothing after it.
I think people were just excited and like, oh my god, and then we're just like,
something different.
The quality was so bad.
Oh man, I remember cramming it into the corner.
Yeah.
Having that thing wedged between us at the back, talking into a camera phone.
Oh fucking. Was that at the very, very start of this lockdown? Just after Christmas.
I think it might have been the third week in January.
Jesus Christ. The year,
yeah.
It's just mad when you think about it now.
25 a quarter of the year, 25% of the year.
It's nearly April, like.
And as of we're recording this, Micheál Martin is making an announcement this evening as to what the plan is.
There is no plan.
Do you remember this time last year, lads? 2 weeks, flatten the curve.
Yeah.
We're almost there, guys. The pubs will be open again.
It's so mad to look back at that, like, and you're just like, it's just gone like that.
Oh man, so fast. Post open. Well, I'm not qualifying for the next phase.
I don't think I am either. Can we combine our scores?
We can combine our scores and do the weekend.
Yeah. Probably still wouldn't get there.
Probably wouldn't. I think Rich has a good chance.
Does he?
Well, like, we only have, I think there's 35,000 people in Europe, so it's the top 10%. So we have to qualify in the top 3,500, whereas Richie has like 65,000. So he needs to be in the top.
Oh, he's American.
6,500. Yeah.
I keep forgetting that. Oh yeah, America.
I don't know the finer details of it, but remember they were talking that like Tia Claire Toomey, because she's Australian, if she has to do a live CrossFit event, apparently she has to go back to Australia.
I did hear this as well, yeah.
And she has to quarantine for like 6 weeks or something throughout the year.
So if you were qualifying, would you have to go back to Ennis?
That's how it would work. Back to Ennis. You'd have to go to Bray.
Yeah. Bray for life.
Bray for life. What do you make of the workouts?
I loved some and hated most. No, I hated the first one, loved the last one, and the middle one was in between, literally the way it was.
So we can go with the first one first. New movement, wall walks, and double unders.
Do you like wall walks?
Absolutely not, man.
I don't think anybody likes wall walks.
I have no upper body endurance. And I'm the heaviest coach, which means just the two combined. And as I've said in the other podcast, they are unattainable standards for the heavy and tall.
They kind of are. Yeah. But it's mad how much when you're marking out that tape for that workout, and you're just like, you kind of look standing up and you're like, that's grand, like, you know, it's not going to be too bad. But when you do your first wall walk to that 10-inch line, you're like, what is this?
Come here, Cian, I think you put centimeters down on mine, not inches. This is what it feels like.
Yeah. Walking up, and then I remember doing one that rep me on, but it was blatantly a no rep, and my hand was like just bare, and quivering. I just couldn't move it for love or nothing. I just couldn't get that centimeter back in. But that was a tough workout. But it was kind of funny because it wasn't one that you can dig in and empty the tank. There's one gear, and
there's a lot of talking.
Yeah, there's one gear, and you can't go too fast because you just revert backwards, and you need to find that kind of line. And obviously people that are good on their hands, that's a great workout. But if you're not good on the hands and the shoulders, that one was a bit of a grinder.
Obviously, best thing about it was very accessible. I think it drew a lot more people in with the home equipment and stuff like that.
It's probably the most accessible one for the masses at home.
But the what was I going to say? Oh, when I looked at it and I woke up and I saw it, I was like, this is shit.
Yeah, same.
I was like, I'm after paying 20 quid.
I should remember chatting to you on the
to run up a wall and do some skippy jumpies.
Skippy jumpies. It was a very tough workout. I like, obviously when you look at it, you know it's going to be a burner, you know it's going to be your shoulders, but I think everybody was kind of shocked about how much harder it actually was. Yeah. I think everybody knew going into it was going to be a burner, but tough.
To be honest, when I was in the workout, I was just like, well, this is actually really well designed.
Well, they obviously test them out for fucking crews and crews of people doing them, but tough workout.
Yeah, we need to get better on our hands, Cian.
Yeah, we do need to get better on our hands.
We've been saying that for about 6 years now. Unattainable standards, I'll stick to it. We moved on to a repeat workout then.
Yeah, that was a good one. First year, obviously
17.1.
Yeah, that came up. That was tough because it's literally just there's no holds barred. You just have to go for it. Like it's kind of tough. Like, but
It's horrible, man.
yeah, the workout only really kicks in when you kind of get to that 40 and 50 kind of round in the snatch. The first few, I remember even doing it just there 2 weeks ago, whenever it was. You do your 10 and your 15 and you're back onto your 20, and then when you're onto that 15 you're like, oh, okay, now fuck shit this like, because the snatches, the 10 and the 20 are so fast. The 15, the first set of 15 you kind of move and you don't really think about it too much. Second set of 15 it hits home, you're on 30 snatches, you're like, fuck this.
It reminded me an awful lot of, do you remember that year they had the double dumbbells and you had to do the goblet squat, not the goblet squats, the
Front squats,
the whatever they were, you just had to squat with the 2 dumbbells and then burpee over the bar.
yeah,
But then it was like
max clean.
you're not actually halfway until you get the 7s done, I think.
Yeah,
That was like this, you had to be halfway through the 40 before you had half of the snatches done.
yeah.
It was absolutely miserable when you break it down like
It
that.
was very, very tough. And then I remember doing it, and then I only checked my previous time the morning before I did it,
Yeah.
and I looked at the clock on my final set of burpees, and I was just like, I'm gonna actually do worse. So I just emptied the tank, did my 15, and was fucked after. Taste blood, all for 4 seconds.
So mine was only 9 seconds, man. Mine was the same thing as well. But my thing was, I actually thought I had a faster time. So when I did it, I was like, I'm actually going to be slower. I was like, I've become unfit due to the lockdowns. It's the government's fault.
It's 100% the government's fault.
And I finished, and I was kind of happy that I was at least 9 seconds faster over what, 4 years.
So it's unattainable standards and the government.
It's the government and
What's
unattainable
going to be the
standards.
excuse for number 3?
It was a good repeat workout.
Good repeat
On
workout.
to the next one. We had super sexy one that was not.
Point 3 was, probably, it's a very, very well designed sexy workout.
Yeah, everything about it was so good, man.
Yeah, but I didn't do them, but I didn't like the at home.
Standard variation of it.
Yeah, like it doesn't replicate that workout, but obviously very hard to do that.
It was, yeah. But they had to introduce something that separated the masses, kind of.
Yeah, because otherwise you just get some weird people going through to the next kind of few bits. So you can kind of see why they did it, but very, very good workout though.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, the way they designed it, obviously your squats and your thrusters jack the heart rate, jack the legs, kind of get you moving. But the way they kind of obviously, and we've done it millions of times in the gym before, where you have that progressionary thing of toe to bar into a pull up into a bar muscle up or something like that. But the high rep range of the 30 toes to bar jack your abs and your grip. You go in for your 30 chest to bar.
If you do the toes to bar right, they jack your abs.
Yeah, and then obviously you do your 30 chest to bar, your arms are gone, your grip's starting to go, and you're like, muscle ups, big sets. No, doubles, singles,
just
the whole way
get
through.
Some work done. Get some scores on the board.
It was good the way they kind of broke that up. But very,
and the minute rest as well is such a trap, man.
Should you remember that workout from, I think it was like 2 years ago or a year or two ago?
I think I know the one with the snatches
and burpees and then snatches and muscle ups. Yeah. And you had like a 3-minute rest gap or something like that. But that was like the worst thing because like everybody sits down and just all that lactic acid just pools inside your body. Like obviously that 1 minute rest that we had there, and we both even said being like that minute, like you can't do anything that minute.
The first one was fine.
Yeah.
The second minute evaporated.
Yeah, but in that one from a couple of years ago with that 3 minutes, you can move. If you actually moved in that, you start to actually clear that waste. But that 1 minute in that workout was literally just you get some water, take about 3 big deep breaths, and get ready for your next bit. Like it's too fast.
But like I know, like Dave Castro apparently has this secret ranch area where he tests all this shit. Do you think they actually put in like that much effort into it, or like that just hurt a lot?
What do you mean?
Like, do you think they've looked that depth into the science of it?
I'd say they would. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, like it's not Dave Castro just making the workouts. He might make the ideal, and he has like a group of people that are going to be like, right, let's change this. But then the way my mind would work would be like, once that clock starts in 0, what happens in the first 30 seconds is obviously your front squats. Like, what's that taxing? Like, in their mind, that's what they're thinking. Internally, what's going on? Obviously, muscularly, what's going on? What energy system's kicking on? That 1 minute rest, like what's refueling? What's happening? I'm sure they actually think about that. Yeah. And if not, it's still a shit hard workout.
So my simple thing was, like, do they just have the front squats there so the lactate basically just goes to your upper body by the time you get back to the second gymnastic movement, I suppose? Yeah. I was actually chatting to someone about it there the other day, that
I'm sure they actually as well designed it that it was thruster, but they
front squat gymnastic.
But I'm sure they might have designed it or
tested it.
A test run, of a thruster, but that would have been so horrible because the fatigue would just be huge.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I say that's why they actually brought it to front squat gymnastic thing that would allow people to actually have a little bit more push.
But maybe because of the minute, it must have been maybe, I don't know, because of the minute. But when I got to that second round or even that third round of front squats, they were horrendous. I just found them so much. The barbell felt heavier, but when I got back to the thrusters, maybe it was because the minute rest was there that I just felt I had a bit more to give.
What, on the thrusters?
Yeah.
Maybe. Like, I remember from doing it as well, like, I always say, a lot of things come down to muscular contractions as well. So think about a front squat. You're doing 15 front squats in a shorter period of time. You might get it done, let's say 20-25 seconds if you're going fast. But because on the thruster, because you have that momentary press, there is that momentary recuperation of your legs.
Oh,
so there is a minimal difference. So if you pound out 15 squats, your legs don't really get a chance to recover. So there's all that kind of things inside of it, and that's always the kind of more sciencey things that, like, we might think about compared to like a class, or then Dave Castro might think about is in between each squat, like what's actually trying to happen. But I found that on the thrusters, like the bar is heavy, but you can kind of deal.
You got to relax for a second,
and you can breathe.
Rich rolling style.
Yeah, you can breathe at that kind of momentary press, but on the front squat, you're just kind of like just sucking in air because you're kind of moving,
and the weight's always on you. I suppose. Then the lift afterwards, a cool first time. That's the first time they've ever had a complex, isn't it?
The first time they've had clean and jerk in 15,
they
and then
had
a clean
in 17. I want to say it's 2017. That was the year of the snow.
Yeah, so it's first year for a full complex, if I can remember.
Yeah, I think it's the first year they've had a heavy complex.
Yeah, complex was tough.
Man, I was looking at it on paper and I was like, I don't understand the reasoning behind some of the stuff. But then when I did it, I was like, oh my god. So you do the deadlift after doing all your work. I just personally feel like that was just to upset your entire midline.
Yeah, but then also your setup as well, like, because your setup for your deadlift and clean.
Yeah,
a little bit
slightly different.
Yeah,
I just found that when I went to go to my power clean, I couldn't brace properly.
Did you rebreathe or use the same breath?
I was sucking on air, man.
Yeah, I suppose
after the workout, like, it was so hard to, as well after them workouts, trying to calm down, trying to lift.
Yeah, it's very hard to get the heart rate down.
Oh yeah,
when you're lifting with that heart rate up, everything's so much heavier.
Like, we do loads of workouts like that, but you're not breathing as heavy, and we've primed a lot of muscles. Like we do like a box jump, push up, and then
like a steady
clean EMOM thing. Yeah. But then different kettle of fish when you have to actually go and then try and do something.
I thought the hardest was the hang clean.
A lot of people struggle with that.
The hang clean, and not even grip, just like you see the people do not Olsen, Panchek brothers, and you see the grip on some of them. Obviously they're lifting quite heavy and they've pushed a lot faster than us, and I was there thinking, is my grip gonna go? It's not even the grip, it's literally just the legs just have nothing to just give up anymore. Like
I found actually doing the hang clean was fine. Actually getting it back to my hip was the problem.
Bringing it
on
the
way back down. Like, normally I'm fairly smooth at that and I'm good at regripping and getting it back into the hook grip, but like obviously probably from the gymnastics.
I remember doing my last lift as well, and like, you do your deadlift, you do the clean, you do the hang clean, and you're just kind of there getting ready for your jerk, and all I could feel was just the blackness. Do you ever feel that, when the blackness starts coming out? It's just like, this is your last lift, like, you better fucking get this now, because I'm not doing another lift, like, I'm done. Because the effort that it took me to do that was fucking loads.
To be honest, I remember I did the clean, whatever, it was fine getting it up, it was fine standing out of it. Trying to actually fix my hands for the jerk and then try and get leg drive for the jerk was awful.
But it's still, like, obviously, legs were a massive one that just kind of dead, especially even because over the lockdown, like, you never push as hard compared to if we were in a class. Like, we were saying it the other day, if you're not in a class environment, it's very hard to just dig in for that grunt of pushing yourself all the time. It's
kind of funny, like, the goodness and the badness that comes out of being in a class. Like, if like me, you and Richie were in a class and it was like some long aerobic thing where you need to stay consistent, I get sucked into a race and I'd be with you the first 3 rounds and I'd be dead in the last 3 rounds instead of focusing on what I'm doing. But at the same time, it's nice to have a firework up your ass to make you kind of push yourself to an uncomfortable zone.
It kind of makes you go a little bit more in a class. Like, even if there's people there, you're kind of like, right, who's doing what, and someone's ahead of you, you're like, right, I'm going to try catch them.
Yeah.
very hard to do that at home or even
on your own,
Zoom or whatever. Like that. You can't. It's so fucking hard to do that.
I don't know the point there I was going to make. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, so on and so forth. So what they have is next top 10%. We are in Europe, and what is it? Quarterfinals is what they're calling it.
Quarterfinals.
So it's like I think it's 3 or 4, but 3 workouts.
I think I was looking up at a couple of things today. Like a couple people putting up kind of like training templates of when to work, when to rest for the rest of this week. Obviously, then over the weekend, next week, and then I think it's week after. So 2 weeks.
First, yeah.
So and 12 days kind of rest. But I think it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday job. You've got 3 days to do X amount of workouts and upload your score.
Something as well, they had the announcement was on at 6:30 Irish time. This is the first time ever. It was always on after midnight.
Oh, for the 0.3?
Yeah, for the announcement. I hope they do that going forward.
Oh, stop.
I hope that their viewership went through the roof and they were like, this is the long term, this is how it has to be.
Because I remember years ago when the CrossFit Open was kind of like, I was like, I'm mad for it every year, and you'd stay up. Well, you might go to bed or you get an alarm and you come up and you watch it. Now, like, it's just like you wake up at 6 a.m. and you're like,
looking at it.
I'll have to go through this work.
I hope they change that going forward. I suppose as a general CrossFitter as well, do you prefer it as 3 weeks or would you rather go back to the 5 weeks?
3 weeks. 100%. You?
Yeah, 3 weeks.
Yeah, just from the years of doing it, like I think you've said as well, it's a little bit different from our perspective in the gym.
Yeah.
Because usually it would be, the big Saturday kind of thing or even the Friday, whatever, and we're judging people and all that, and we don't have that kind of allotted time properly for us to do it because you're like, I might judge somebody, I've got 5 minutes, quick little warm up, go do it.
Yeah.
But I always feel like, it's like week 1, deadly. Week 2, I love it. Week 3, it's always a tough one, but you're kind of like, Grant. Week 4, you're just like,
I'm sick of this.
I'm tired now. Like, when's this over? Last one, it's always obviously a bit of crack because it's your last one. In years past, we used to do like a barbecue or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think 3 weeks was kind of nice.
Yeah.
5 weeks is a bit too long. I hope they keep that going forward. 3 weeks, a separator, and then they just pull the best of the best through 4 and 5.
Yeah. Because like someone who's maybe not going to the CrossFit Games but is some bit competitive and can actually finish in the top 3, they can still do that weekend and have that buzz about it. Yeah. But then for someone like me who's probably never going to be in the top 10% can still go out and have a bit of crack and enjoy it.
But it allows kind of like, the average kind of person that's just doing the Open have 3 weeks of fun. They're not pot committed to like 5 weeks of...
It's a month and a week. Like.
Yeah, like it's kind of a long period of time, like especially with like normal people and they've lives and jobs and kids and stuff like that. They don't have all that time, so they might be able to kind of allot kind of a Saturday for 3 weeks to actually do this and have a bit of crack with it.
As opposed to sacrificing 5 Saturdays to get it done.
Yeah,
really happy with it. Really happy with it. What is your plan with competitive CrossFit going forward?
Me? I won't know until the classes come back and then my competitive back open again.
If you actually made
I cannot be competitive when I train with Debbie. It doesn't work. I just keep winning. I'm only messing Debbie. I'll let you win the other one.
If you made the top 10%, would you do the weekend?
Of course, yeah, you'd have to.
Alright, so we're saying Richie probably, I'd be confident Richie will make the top 10%. If Richie asked you to be his pacing guy, would you jump in that weekend and help him out and do all the workouts?
Yeah, of course, yeah, you'd have to. You couldn't say no to it. And it might make us train more as well.
Yeah, that's true. Do you think Richie should record all of them and post them?
Oh yeah. What do you mean, record the videos in case he goes on further? Yeah. You'd have to. Measure twice, cut once. You wouldn't want to do it and then be like, I didn't do it.
In case he does really well.
You wouldn't want to affect that up.
Also as well, big shout out to Siobhan. I think she's top 5 in Ireland.
Is she?
So she's smoking.
I've seen a leaderboard earlier, but I don't think it was updated. I think Dave had to verify.
Yeah, so them scores won't be.
Yeah, they'll change
between now probably.
But she did
Wednesday
very well in all of them. Really.
Yeah, she did. She finished. She did. The first one she had 186 out of the 210 skips.
Yes.
Second one then she was 12 something, and then the last one then she actually finished the muscle ups and got a decent solid lift in.
She finished the thrusters after the muscle ups as well.
Yeah, no, she finished the WOD.
Yeah. And she got 71 clean and jerk?
Something like that, yeah.
Not too far off us.
Lovely, guys. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's it for another week of the Big Fat Podcast.
See you later.
Be strong. Be strong.